Hey, RetconRaider here. Before we get started, I'd just like to thank the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Anerdinwarpaint, Antonio Hernandez, Matthew Holmquist, Nathan Welch Jr., and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Wasteland 3, as we try to hastily conclude our business here in Colorado Springs and head out to save the holidays. There's a group of hapless elves out there somewhere, at the mercy of their bearded taskmaster, and only Team November can hope to save them. You may also notice that DiscoBot is back up and running, though there's no one left to actually enjoy the music, aside from strays and the occasional passerby. That's fine. I figure Brygo's Casino has completed its evolution into a home for wayward robots. And while there are a couple of things that it turns out I missed back in Broadmoor Heights, we're not going to worry about that right now. Like I said, we do want to get back out to the world map, so let's head back to the Sans Lux, and from there, we'll head for Ranger HQ. Yeah, there were definitely more doggos out here before, so I think it's safe to assume that they've basically started taking over the club. Good for them.
The noise stopped! Thank you, Rangers. I can sleep at last. And so can my cats. Here, a little something for your trouble, since I'm sure that tight fist, the Patriarch, isn't paying you much. I'm gonna send a special surprise to your clubhouse or headquarters or whatever you call it. Nah, I'm not saying what it is, but you'll love it, I promise. Now go on, I'm a busy woman.
Well, thank you, Miss Swong.
Come on, kiddies. The noise is over. You can come out now.
How long you figure it is before she starts complaining about the literal booze hounds and party animals. Oh, look at that. They finally cleaned up those corpses. Museum's still in shambles, though. I blame those Dorseys.
Maybe I'll... Vic Buchanan not to blame for Aspen slaughter. Matriarch called son misguided.
Oh, that's interesting. You know what? I am going to add that to my notes.
Would you rather?
Not exactly groundbreaking, but it is intriguing in conjunction with a lot of the other lore I've gathered about the dysfunction of the Buchanan clan. Still working on that video. Okay, I've got about a dozen things on the list here. Let's just head for the command room, and we'll work our way out from there. Oh, right. We've got that messenger from Mrs. Reed.
Delivery Team November. I'm here on behalf of Gwendolyn Reed. This is an infinitesimal reward compared to what you have returned to me. You have my eternal thanks. I'll let her know you got it.
I guess that's the best we can hope for from someone like her. What is this? Incandescent Incisors brand tooth whitening gel. Tied to this jar is a note that reads, Darius, finding this shit's getting harder and more dangerous. We gotta renegotiate the prices for these runs, man. Okay. I wonder if that's supposed to be part of her gift to the Rangers. That does seem a bit more on brand for Miss Reed. Oh. Brandy, Troy. I really expected you kids to set up in the museum, but I guess the entrance hall is as good a place as any. Good to see you guys. We'll get to those gals in just a moment.
It's absolutely marvelous, being able to stretch my legs without invading another's personal space once more.
Hey, Nanda. Got more vendor trash for you.
Of course, Rangers. It would be impolite not to share such tremendous deals.
Well, I appreciate that. Your delight as always, Nanda.
We heard y'all might be able to help us.
The woman is stout as a kettle, grim-faced and hatchet-nosed. Her clothes are plain, but judging by their cleanness, they may be the best she owns.
Rangers. My name's Betsy. If you don't mind, we've got a request for you. Me and the girls here, we got family who were arrested a while back and put to hard labor at the Patriarch's work camp. Thing is, we've no clue where it is, and the marshals won't say a lick on the subject.
She falls into an expectant silence. Best to avoid any specific commitments. And what do you want us to do?
Figure out where they're holding our loved ones. That's all we're asking you for. And we'll damn well pay you for the privilege.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. The resolution will obviously vary depending on exactly what we discover, but yeah, we'll do it.
Thanks.
Her face gentles, and it becomes clear that Betsy isn't half as old as she appears.
I wish we had more for you to work with, but the only thing we got is a name. Frank Pappas was a marshal in charge of shipping folks to the work camp.
Any idea where Pappas is now?
All we know is that he's retired and living somewhere downtown.
Oh, right. I think we actually saw him back at the Sans Lux. He was the guy who told us to get the hell out of his apartment. Real piece of work, that guy. Does Pappas have any friends or family who can help us find him?
Someone at the Marshal Station might know something. They won't tell us anything. But you might be luckier.
Gotta say, that sounds like a terrible idea, because we would basically be forewarning them before you gals go blow up this prison or whatever it is you're aiming to do. We'll try to keep this quiet. Well, when we find this work camp, we'll let you know.
We'll be waiting.
Now, obviously, we could go swing by the Sans Lux, but we've already got plenty on our plate, so let's finish that first. That sounds awful familiar.
November, good to see you. Give me 1 second to make sure the General's still there. General, are you there? I have Team November for you.
Thank you, Gonzalez. Put him on.
Yes, sir. He's ready for you, Rangers. Have a seat.
Ah, Team November. Glad we finally got through. Corporal Gonzalez said I should hear the details from you, so tell me, how's the mission going?
Somebody knew we were coming. We got dry gulched soon as we got here. Not many of us left.
An ambush? How many of you survived?
Enough to take revenge, General. Someone's gonna pay for this.
What about my brother? Is Riley alive?
We have him, sir. All is well. He'd been taken hostage after the ambush, but we rescued him.
Thank God for that. Thank you for your bravery. Please, give him my best, and tell him to be careful. He means the world to me. Now, what about the mission? Gonzalez told me the Patriarch's confirmed the deal, and has provided you with a HQ and supplies. I'm pleased to hear it. What are your thoughts on him? Does he seem like a reliable ally?
Oof, that is a loaded question. I mean, obviously, the Patriarch has done some questionable things to secure his hold on Colorado. But at the same time, I don't think it's nearly as bad as what Angela would have us believe. I will say, though, there are concerns about his recent medical diagnosis, though. His lax grasp on the reality of his situation, that could definitely be a problem. He's getting old and losing his grip, but with our help, he should survive long enough to give us what we need. We can count on him in the short term.
I was afraid it might be like that. A leader doesn't ask for military help unless things are desperate. Well, hold up your end of the bargain, and we'll pray he's able to hold up his. Anything else I should know about?
Yeah, we've, made contact with Angie.
So, she's alive. What happened to her? Is she helping you?
Afraid not. It seems she abandoned her mission and is intent on taking the Patriarch down.
Damn it, I was afraid of that. That was her position before we lost contact with her. Well, don't let her sway you. I've got no doubt her reasons are good. No one amasses as much power as this Patriarch has by being an angel, but Angie's always had a very black and white view of the world. No room for compromise. We have to compromise. The Patriarch may be the dirtiest dog east of the Rockies, but he's also the biggest dog, and he's got the most scraps to share. We can reconsider our relationship with him down the line, but for right now, we've got to do what he wants, or there isn't gonna be a down the line for Arizona or the Rangers. I'm not asking you to fight Angie. I love her too much for that. Just keep your distance and don't let her wreck the deal.
Roger that. Oh, we've already dealt with one of the Patriarch's kids.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Keep up the good work.
That's all we've got. Nothing else to report, sir.
All right then. Report received. Thanks for letting me know the situation on the ground. I've got no additional orders except to wrap things up ASAP. Our position here in Arizona is tenuous at best. Without the manpower we sent with you, we're stretched thin, and the gangs and militias are getting bolder by the day. Nor is the food and water situation improving. If we can get through next winter, next year's crops might be enough to keep us going. But I don't see how we're getting there without the Patriarch's promised supplies. So, no pressure. But at the same time, hang on. Damn it. Sorry, November. Gotta get back to it. I'll try to reach out again in a few...
Looks like we lost the signal, November. I'll let you know if I get it back.
That does remind me. Where did Riley get off to? Honestly, no offense to Gutierrez, but I'd rather have an actual ranger running our comms. You know, someone who isn't a self-professed spy for the Patriarch. Speaking of which, Greatsky?
Good job bagging that synth downtown. We scored some points with Daisy for that.
Did we? Because I'm pretty sure we didn't actually get any reputation for that.
Now, what can I help you with?
Huh. I really figured we'd have some new dialogue options here. If not about Vic, then at least about some of the other things we found while we were in Aspen. That feels like a big missed opportunity. Especially after I just recently reread the 60-page novella that describes the Patriarch's original rise to power. Sergei Greatsky was right there alongside him for a lot of it, and often questioned the more dubious things that the Patriarch would often end up doing. I really feel like they should have given him a more proactive role here in trying to allay the players' concerns about the things they're discovering.
Anytime, Rangers. Always happy to tell war stories. So many war stories are about sacrifice and heroics and the horrors of combat, but they don't talk about the real horror. The real horror is the food. Once, we were hunting a gang called the Clown Killers, an offshoot of the Payasos. We spent months tracking them, then got a break when we spotted a supply truck with a clown driver. All we had to do was follow it, and it would lead us right to them. Trouble was, just as we were nearing the killer's camp, the driver spotted us. There was nothing to it. We had to kill him before he could warn the others. Fortunately, it was night, so we managed it. Barely. Then we made the biggest mistake of our lives. We decided to attack at dawn and get our strength up by eating the meat he was bringing to the camp and then having a good night's sleep. Well, next morning, the aftermath of that meat hit us like a Tomasz tornado. 20 men sweating and gasping over the latrine trench, but Saul wouldn't cancel the raid, even though he was groaning and dying like the rest of us. Not gonna spend another 5 goddamn months hunting these clowns, he said. And so we stumbled through the raid, even though it was, in Saul's words, a real shit circus.
Happy holidays, everyone. This is the sort of festive content we were hoping for, right?
I'll be here.
Thanks, Greatsky.
Putting the refugees in the brig was a good compromise. They've got nothing to complain about.
Cool.
Now, what can I do for you?
Wow, nothing here either.
That's what I'm here for. How can I help?
I've got to say, I actually feel kind of disappointed here. I've never actually had Reyes as an advisor before, and I was really looking forward to discussing some of these major plot points with him, and it's just not taken into account at all. It feels really out of place. You've got all of these smaller instances of reactivity, you've got these intricately woven plot threads and incredible lore, and then you can't get anyone to react to these major bombshells about the guy who runs Colorado.
You're off to a good start capturing Vic without killing him. That couldn't have been easy. Do the same with Val and Liberty, and the Patriarch will give you all you asked for, and more.
All right, man. Thanks for being zero help.
Sadly, I don't think a peaceful transition is possible anymore, Rangers.
His sole purpose really does seem to be to guide us towards that one ending that we already locked ourselves out of before we ever even met him.
Back off!
No lamos here.
Come on, Scotchmo. You disrespect the Rangers if you're drunk on duty.
Well, good thing I ain't drunk then, isn't it? It's just a little tipsy.
I give up. You're a disgrace to the uniform.
And it's a good thing I ain't wearing a uniform either.
You kind of walked into that one, Quan.
Thanks for letting us set up in here. The game's been so much more immersive with real Rangers walking around.
I hear they did actually record at least a couple of other bits of table chatter. So we'll be winging through the cafeteria every so often.
Warden, we gotta do something. We're freezing to death in here. Maybe the cold is your way of punishing them filthy jailbirds, but we ain't done nothing to deserve it.
You're absolutely right, Miss Hackett. I'll see what I can scrounge up.
Well, thank you, Warden. Didn't expect you to be so reasonable.
I can't do a lot, Miss Hackett, but I do what I can.
Nice to see some folks are getting along. I also see we've got Vic and Ash sharing the same cell. That seems like a truly awful idea.
What can I do for you?
How are the prisoners?
Do you think we have the resources to build another, more secure cage for Victory? I can feel him watching me, waiting for an opportunity. He's a predator, and he sees everyone, everything as his prey. I'm not sure anything can change that. Makes you see the reason why they built the pillories in the first place. But I've heard stories about how he'd watch them laughing as a child. Maybe that's where he got the idea that life is cheap, and the rest of us are just for his amusement.
Oh, wow. That is actually fascinating. You know, I've actually been putting a lot of thought lately into how the Patriarch's kids turned out the way they did. And Hope just made a very intriguing point about Vic.
I heard what Ash did. That's the banality of evil. The casual cruelty of the cowardly and sycophantic. He still says he was just doing what he was told, as he had no choice, no control over his actions. I'm not sure if he truly believes that, or if he's just trying to protect himself. I'm not sure it matters. I think the only way we'll find true justice here is to give him the time to sit with his crimes and steep.
Yeah, until Vic gets tired of him and murders him in his sleep.
Not much to report. Everyone's behaving, relatively speaking. Good luck out there.
I'm so fucking bored!
Truly, a fate worse than death. Actually surprised he's not going through withdrawal.
Rangers! I'm dying in here. Give me a book, huh?
Nope.
And I have a knife, Rangers. I promise not to cut anybody with it. I just want to flip it a little.
No.
Hey, do you think Daddy's going to come visit me?
No.
Amazing, Rangers! You saved Rook and La Loca. That's no easy feat. No one could do that. Absolutely no one. But you. Just amazing.
Uh-huh.
Could I have another blanket?
Subtle.
Don't worry about me. I can lick my way to wildcats.
That sounds inappropriate and dangerous. Don't do that.
I'm having so much fun, I think I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, you might have had too much to drink.
Looks like we ain't dying here after all.
Don't jinx it. We ain't home yet. They put us back on rotation, we'll get plenty of chances.
Better than sitting around here. Came all the way to Colorado. Guess I'd like to see some of the place before we go home again.
Yeah, all I've seen so far is cold walls and locked doors.
Hey, it's our rescuers.
So glad you both made it, Loca.
Thanks, Pazeppi.
We're a couple of old survivors, but we'd be dead if it wasn't for you guys. So thanks.
Maybe some of our survivors' luck will rub off on you now. Return the favor, right?
Nice. You two recovering okay?
I'm fine. Except I ain't been warm since I got out of that cooler. I want to make a bonfire and curl up in it. And I ain't sure even that would be enough.
Yeah, I'm alright too. My bruises are turning interesting colors, but they always do that.
Cool. You two seem well adjusted. What do you think about our situation?
I guess you know what you're doing. But I got family dying back home, so whatever gets us to paid is what I want. The quicker, the better.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we are going to maintain our whole Ranger first mentality. I mean, we'll try to help the folks of Colorado where possible, but our primary concern has to be about the Rangers and the fate of Arizona.
I wouldn't piss on this patriarch fuck if he was on fire.
Me neither. Pendejo can rot for all I care.
But if doing his dirty work saves Arizona, well then, I say we hold our noses and do it.
Harsh, but also fair. You both have people back in AZ?
I'm an Atchison. Rail Nomad was just coming together when Ranger Citadel got nuked. Now it's worse than it ever was. Atchisons and Topekans at each other's throats, fighting over all the food we ain't got. Gonna be nobody left there if we don't get back soon.
I got no people except the Rangers. They took me in when no one else would. I can't fail them. I just can't.
That is admirable. Thanks.
Stay strong, November.
Ranger Survivor. La Loca and Rook were appreciative for their rescue. They passed on some of their techniques to aid in survival and recovery they've learned in their long years as Rangers. Plus 5% healing bonus. Well, nothing to really write home about, but a bonus is a bonus, and it's certainly better than nothing. Let's go ahead and grab pressure cooker for Rhett while we're here. I didn't realize he had an extra perk point. That will allow him to temporarily disable any enemy vehicles we encounter. Assuming he can get close enough.
You know all those people I was patching up downtown? There is one man responsible for all that bloodshed. Nellius Dorsey. You want to make me happy? Find him and make him pay.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
What do you need, Rangers?
And once again, no option to bring up the Patriarch's health, even with a written diagnosis signed by Doc Parker in our inventory. I am disappointed.
I won't. I never do.
All right, well, moving on.
You brought my candies! I'm gonna have some later, when everyone's asleep. Don't tell Mom.
I'm gonna go.
Never got a chance to thank you properly for saving Nita. I don't know what I would have done if I lost her too. I was thinking on how I could show my thanks and realized I work with cars day in and out, and you all take them into battle. There's a lot of things I learned about how to fix cars and how to break them. Here, let me show you.
Neat. Thanks, Randy. Happy to have you.
Happy to be here. I've already been working with your folks here. They'll have all kinds of new goodies for you.
Really? Well, that certainly bears investigation.
See you around.
Though I believe we get new parts for capturing Vic as well.
Nobody from Iron Thunder's gonna cry that Brago's dead. Good riddance.
Huh. I'm actually surprised they even cared.
Of course. Let's see if we can find what you want.
All right. We've only got $6,000 to work with, so let's see what we can do here. Top tier chassis. I believe that gives us maximum rad resistance, so we can now explore the entire world map. We'll definitely want that. Heavy vehicle plating. I believe that is more con but less armor than our current heavy plating, but no movement penalty, so yeah, let's go ahead and grab that too. Full borer. Basically a rocket turret. It actually doesn't look that strong. Not to mention the blast radius and the environmental hazard it would leave behind would pose an imminent threat to Major Tom and the zoo crew. I think we will skip this one. I guess that's it. We'll get this stuff equipped in just a second, but let's check in on Jody.
Wonder how the Hoons are doing. Folks like them remind me of my family back home.
Are you happy with how things are going so far?
Yeah, things are good. I mean, there's always room for improvement, right? But we're doing better than I expected after how things started out. I think we're gonna make it. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I suppose when your mission starts with you on your knees and a gun to the back of your head, surrounded by the burning and dismembered corpses of your former squad mates, things can only really go up from there.
Later.
Gotta say, I really do admire Jody's optimism. She's a sweetheart.
November? I wanted to thank you again for saving Laloka, Rook, and myself in Aspen. We'd have been dead without you. For that reason, I want to give you this. It's a keepsake from my brother, General Woodson. A medal he earned back when he saved his whole squad from raiders. Kind of like how you saved my squad. He gave it to me when I left for Colorado, and he told me to present it to myself after I'd done something heroic. Well, you beat me to it, so it's yours.
Oh man, I want that, but I also feel bad actually taking it from him. You were the hero in Aspen, Riley. Keep the medal. You deserve it.
Well, I appreciate that, but I want you to have it anyway. I hope it reminds you of the good you've already done and how much more you can do for Colorado. So here, and thanks.
Oh, okay.
I'll be here when you need me.
We didn't know that General Woodson had a brother.
Yeah, Wade likes to keep work and personal life separate. And well, I'm a lot younger than him. 10 years. My mama's favorite mistake, everyone says. Anyway, I don't think he really wanted me to sign up. Too dangerous. I'm kind of seeing what he meant now. But, oh well.
So, why are you hanging out here in the garage?
Always been a motorhead. In fact, I was driving when the Dorseys ambushed us. Got us out of there by the skin of our back tires. Now that my feet are a mess and I can't go out on patrol, I figured I'd make myself useful in the motor pool. Nothing I like better than working on cars and shooting the shit. Fastback and his crew cracked me up.
Well, aside from your experiences in Aspen, what do you think of Colorado?
I'm afraid it's just making me homesick for sun and hot wind. Nothing against this place, but I'm only here to make sure we get help for back home. My people are in Arizona. My brother. Can't wait to get back there with the Patriarch supplies and start saving the day.
All right. As you were, Riley.
November.
Let's have a look at that medal. Star of Bravery. A Desert Ranger's Medal awarded for extraordinary bravery and service beyond the call of duty. +1 hard ass, +5 hit chance, +5 crit chance, and +1 action point. Holy moly. And here I was thinking the adrenaline pump we just found was pretty good. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, the +1 hard ass makes it pretty obvious that this is a very solid upgrade for Bonkers. Congratulations, man. You have earned it. I guess. Wear it with pride. Okay, let's get the Kodiak updated, get this new gear equipped, and we're almost ready to head back out. Wait, did I set the right one? Yeah. Now, I have heard some arguments that the Payaso turret is actually superior to the Helix because it can fire twice in a single turn. I don't disagree, I just hate the way it looks. So, we're sticking with the Helix. This, though, this is a definite upgrade. And it's actually even more reason to stick with the Helix because the damage on the cluster bomb is actually based on the damage of your primary weapon. That's about 50% higher on the Helix. And I think that is it. We did pull that new hood ornament, Peek and Poke, which looks different than I expected it to. But I think we're going to stick with the disco bot. I actually wish we had more disco-themed accessories for the Kodiak. Alright, folks, I believe that was the last major item on my list, except for cleaning out our inventory and updating our arsenal a little, as funds allow. So let's hit the pause button real quick. I will take care of the bookkeeping off screen, and we will pick up in just a moment, once we're out on the road and ready to roll. We'll be right back. And we are back. We've only got 10 minutes left, but let's gun it for Santa's Village. A flimsy shack groans in the wind. 4 walls and half a roof. Could be worse. Let's see if anyone left anything interesting. You find a padlocked stash. Well, that paid off. Not much, but loot is loot. Onward, my friends. The elves await. Roadblock. As you enter a wooded ravine, something makes you slow the Kodiak. A movement, a noise, a flash of light. Maybe it was just a feeling, but the night seems darker now. The hairs rise on your neck. I am not sure what's happening, so yeah, let's proceed with caution. You crawl ahead in low gear, eyes darting everywhere. It gets darker and darker. After a tight turn, your headlights flash across 2 metal structures flanking the road. Structures? No, robots. Another steps behind the Kodiak. Their servos whine as they lock their guns on you. An amplified voice tells you to step out of the vehicle. You don't really have a choice.
All right, light 'em up. Wow. And I thought Colorado trash was sad. You made a bad deal, Rangers. My father's using you for cannon fodder. Go back to Arizona before you take a bullet for him. The graves are cold up here. And on your way home, tell him to hire a better class of spy.
My. I was not expecting this. Damn, now we know why your father told us to bring you in. Put your hands up.
Points for bravado, but my robots will turn you into a thin red mist before you get a shot off. Want to reconsider?
I will admit, she makes a compelling argument. At the very least, we can still use this opportunity to fish for intel. Why do you want to overthrow your father?
Because he's taking too long to die of natural causes. Colorado will die before he does if someone with some vision doesn't take control ASAP. And that's not either of my brothers.
You think your father is killing Colorado?
Are you blind? He's letting a crazy cowboy cult control our oil production. Our main trading hub is run by a bunch of idiots in monster masks. All that should have been state-run ages ago. Why am I arguing policy with a bunch of gun jockeys? The point is, my father has Colorado in the palm of his hand, and he's afraid to close his fist. I am not.
You know, you almost had a couple of good points there, and then you ruined it with that whole tyrant thing at the end. It does make sense, though, given who her parents are. Her father, the ruler who has made numerous questionable decisions, believing that the ends always ultimately justify the means, and her mother, the woman who attempted to assassinate him and steal his throne. You don't think your brothers are fit to rule?
Ha! I can see you haven't met him. Vic's a depraved child, and Val's a brain without a spine. I wouldn't trust either one to run a mess tent, let alone a country. To think of all the years my father wasted grooming them for glory when I was right there. God.
What else should we know about Viktory?
Shoot him before he talks. Your sanity'll thank you, and you'll be doing Colorado a favor. Not that it'll be easy getting to him. He's got his followers hooked on some kind of hypno-happy gas. They'll do anything for him, including die.
Huh. She is not up on recent events. And Valor?
The sooner he dies, the better for Colorado. He's the perfect puppet for some usurper like the Gippers to put on my father's throne and claim he's the legitimate heir. Of course, killing him would piss Daddy off. And you ass-kissers wouldn't want that. Might be the only way to get him out of Denver, though. Those Gippers got their hooks in him deep.
There's a lot of very intriguing subtext that you can pick up from Liberty's dialogue once you realize that she is literally the result of a union that was just part of an elaborate assassination plot to steal the Patriarch's throne. In a lot of ways, she probably just sees this as trying to fulfill her birthright, the purpose she was literally born for. Anyway, this is obviously our Frank Horrigan moment, a brief glimpse of the game's end boss well before we're actually supposed to fight her. We could take her on anyway, but that would result in an immediate end for the series, so... Okay, we're done here. You can go.
Ha! Thank you for your permission. Squad, roll out!
The implant on her neck is also intriguing, but I don't know if that's ever actually explained.
Yeehaw! I got some big news, y'all. Sister Ella May said yes! We getting hitched next month before the baby comes. We'll be sending out invitations and shit real soon.
Cool. Congratulations. Way to ruin the moment.
Help! Please, if you can hear this. They killed my brother and now they're coming for me. They're cannibals. Fucking wannabe cowboys. They're barbecuing people at the quarry. Please hurry. Please. I don't have much.
Oh, geez. Okay. Do we have any idea where that is? Cannibal Jamboree. Sounds about right. Oh, and that's just south of us, too. Shoot. Too many people, making too many problems. Alright, folks. I hate to do it, but we are well and truly out of time. Let's hit the pause button for now, and we will save Christmas next time. And then pay a visit to the Jamboree. See you then.